It's just that I have read some samples of scripts and I don't know, the book of Will Eisner on comics and and they
he's
just
better
give you
than I am. Will Eisner's way better than I am. I hope to God that Will Eisner thought more about his panels than I do, because he could do buildings and he could do cars. He can play with it way more. He has many more options other than being dead. He's got more options than I have on how to present that page. I have my talent, and my talent goes until there's a building or an interior or a car. I'm golden. If I have a story called Spider-Man in Nowhereville, then I can draw that book. But I can't draw buildings and windows and shit like that.
I have one last question for you. So in order to give the opportunity to other people, do you consider yourself more as a writer or as an illustrator?
I'm a cartoonist. That's both. I'm a storyteller. Cartoonist. If you want the hardest job in the world, do a daily syndicated comic strip. One of my best friends in the business does that. He went from a weekly to a daily. He hadn't had a day off in like 3 or 4 years, because you have to stay so far ahead. So when I did comic strips, it was every week. Now, I didn't have time to sit there and go like, this should be a horizontal, this should be a vertical. I had a very limited, you think Marvel's limiting on 24 pages. I had one box. And there's a lot of stories in my life I'd love to do a true story cartoon on, but there's no room. I had made a mini comic that had a story where I bought a book from Scholastic Book Club, The Rookies. And I was in 5th grade. In one of the scenes, the bad guy in the bank yells out, "You cops think you can get me, common motherfucker?" And in 5th grade, I thought, holy cow, fuckers in my book. And I bought this from the school. And I remember getting all heated and going like, holy shit. And I looked at my friend, he goes, "What's the matter?" I went, "Read this." And he goes, "You cops think you can get me, common motherfucker?" No way. So after being shocked about motherfucker being in my book, my friend goes, "What's a common?" I don't know. And we were just learning this word. So I go, maybe there's different levels of motherfucker. Like you're a big motherfucker, and you're common. You're nothing. You're common. So my teacher says, "What are you guys talking about back there?" And my friend goes, "Oh, he has a problem with one of the sentences in his book." So she makes me stand up and read the line. I said, "You cops think you can get me, common motherfucker?" And I was taken down to the principal's office. They called my dad at work. They never called my dad at work, ever. He comes in, looks at me, and goes, "What are you doing?" I already got red marks from crying so much because Dad's on his way, you know. And I said, "The teacher told me to read this, and I read it, and I'm here, and they called you up, and I'm in trouble." And so he says, "Well, what did you read?" And I go, "It's a line in the book." He goes, "Well, read me a line." I went, "Every time I read this book, I'm in trouble." So I go, "You think you can get me, common motherfuckers?" And I braced for the hit, and my dad grabbed the book and he says, "It's come on, motherfucker." And it was like an epiphany, and I realized, oh my God, it's come on, it's not common, it's come on. And so my dad went off on the principal, saying, "If he bought this book at your school, you answer every question, no matter what it is, I don't care what it is." And then he went and yelled at the teacher, back when you could do that. Now they would hit the alarm and it'd be closed down and swap me outside. Lockdown. I remember we used to have these square windows in the door that are rectangular, and I could see her face, and her tears were welling up my dad's finger every now and then to accentuate his point, and then he left. And she came in, and when she came back in, everyone was saying common motherfucker, because they all want to know what the deal was. So she had 35 kids who were all going, "Motherfucker, common motherfucker." And I bought it from them. I bought it from Scholastic. Stupid motherfuckers.
Thank you very much. I will
but I did it.
That.
I was able to do that was 4 comic strips to do that story for that book. And as soon as the idea hits you, you think about how it looks on the page. And I don't know. To me, it happens to me because I'm also an artist, and so I visualize it right away. A writer may not. A writer might see something and say, "I could totally write that scene." But what I look at is when I see something, I go, "I could write and draw that. I know how I would draw that." And I think that's the part where an artist or a writer stumbles. Like if an artist can't draw, can't write, and they can't, turn that off. Turn that off now.
Definitely. That's my handicap right now.
But my handicap, like I said, my handicap are buildings and interiors and stuff like that. Guns. I have to draw guns for Cherry Harbor, and they're the dumbest, stupidest guns you've ever seen in your life. Like rubber band guns almost. They're just, I'm trying to do them in silhouette because I'm trying to hide the fact that I can't draw these things. It's just sad. But the story's great. I'm hoping that people like the story more than, you know, they won't be going, dear Mr. Gill, your guns are horrible. You know.
Thank you very much, man.
And if you can draw, if that's your stumbling block, how old are you?
29.
Shut up. Go get a book on drawing and learn to draw something, you know?
I will do that.
Yeah, hey, there's some great art. There's some great comics out there with shitty art. You know?
I will do that. Thank you very much.
I used to think it was Ross Andrew back in the day, but now I like Ross Andrew because it's so goofy looking. I can appreciate it. Or Frank Robbins. Frank Robbins stuff is really weird too.